What's up, dude?
What up?
Not much, man. Another awful week from the Eagles, but, it is what it is.
Well, one thing to be positive about, it's week 2 of our show.
Yes, sir. Hey, you know what another positive thing is?
Let's hear it.
The Eagles are only half a game out of first place in the division with 0 wins, 2 losses, and a tie.
The only positive I have right now is my team has actually lost to 2 good teams, and they haven't lost to the Washington football team.
Not yet. Not yet.
I'll call that now. It ain't happening.
Okay. You can say that all you want. I said the same thing.
We're good.
Y'all are a lucky onside kick away from being 0-3 right now.
Better be lucky than good any day.
Okay, Nick Foles.
Don't you talk about that, man. Don't you stand there and talk about the diamond like that. You would trade the diamond right now. You would.
Right now.
You know what?
Right,
you came at me. You came at me, so now I have to come at you.
Right now, the way Wentz is playing, I would take Foles over Wentz.
Y'all should have took him anyway. Because here's the deal. Let me make sure I quote this right. Wentz is 7-19 against anybody in the last 3 years other than Washington and New York.
Yeah. Like, I can't even really defend the guy anymore. Like,
No.
we used to work together, and you would bring stuff up about Wentz, and I would get mad. Like, legitimately mad.
No.
I don't know. Like, I get it. This last week, he did everything he tried. Like, he really did. He did not give up, and he tried really hard to win that game, even though he was awful. But that still doesn't excuse the fact that he is playing awful.
No. I've never, you know me, I've never liked him. Part of that is because he is an Eagle. But nobody, and I'm saying this for all of you too, I'm saying this for all of our subscribers who are Eagles fans, and I really appreciate you subscribing to us. It means a lot, and I appreciate it. None of y'all better not ever come at me and look me in my face and tell me that Carson Wentz is better than Dak ever again. There's no excuses of stats, who we have. Zeke, I don't know if y'all watched the game yesterday. Zeke was been on the bus the whole time because he couldn't do nothing yesterday. That game was purely Dak, and it shows that what kind of Dak is progressing every year. I feel like Dak progresses, and he does have bad games. I feel like he's progressing every year, every game. Where Wentz kind of like hit his ceiling and then started regressing every year. Now, do I still think that he's a starting quarterback right now? If I'm Doug Peterson, no. I think you should have pulled him in the third quarter. I mean, a bum defense like Cincinnati, and you're out there throwing picks, and he fumbled. I mean, my 8-year-old could tackle me, fumbled the football. So I mean,
now granted, one thing I can say is Cincinnati is ranked 4th in the league against the pass. They have the 4th best defense in football.
Okay.
They have the worst run defense in football. And for some reason, Doug said that Miles Sanders was on a 20-touch limit. Once he hit 20 touches, Doug pulled him from the game, and he was not getting the football again.
Why was that?
What's that?
Why was that?
Because he had a hamstring injury to start the year, and Doug has him on a pitch count.
So what about Boston Scott?
Exactly. That's why I think that this issue with the Eagles goes far deeper than just the quarterback is playing bad. I think the GM is bad. he doesn't know how to draft. I think Doug Peterson has lost the respect of the team. I don't think the team actually takes what he says literally, and they don't get fired up from him. I think that comes down to the fact that Wentz is playing awful because he has no trust in the team anymore. I mean, if you are on an MVP campaign and then you get hurt and your backup comes in and wins the Super Bowl, then the next year your backup is playing awful and you have to come back early and you play through an injured knee, and because you're trying to make up power somewhere else, you fracture your back and your backup comes in and plays well again. And then the team says, okay, you're our guy now. And then they immediately go out and draft another quarterback in the second round. I'm sorry, but whether they believe in him or not, that shows the fact that he can't trust them anymore. He has to be sitting there thinking they're trying to tell me what I want to hear and not the truth.
Correct.
And you played quarterback. If you were going on the field and you didn't feel like your coach trusted you to make the plays, you're not going to go out there with the confidence that you need to make those plays.
Mm-mm. And I don't know if it's so much that Wentz doesn't trust his team as I've heard rumors, and I know we've discussed this before, that the guys in the locker room can't stand him. How much of that's true, I don't know, but going back to what I said last week in our show, it is very, very obvious that Super Bowl was a lot more of a how can I put this? It takes a village. And that comes, everybody's heard that saying, it took a village to win that Super Bowl. And 90% Frank Wright, 10% Doug Peterson as it looks right now. He needs to give up play calling for one. He can't coach him. He can't. I mean, dude, did you look at him in overtime? He's sitting there just looking at the play. He just looked lost on that sheet. I mean, he's looking at it like, what can I do? I don't have the diamond in my back pocket. I had to.
Ow. Oh.
And if you go back to that clip, when Foles comes up to him, he goes, he's sitting there looking at the sheet again, like, what am I going to do? And then Foles is like,
you want Philly?
Yeah. And then he stops, and, Nick Foles made the right choice. But my question and wonder has always been, what would he have chosen?
Right. So here's something that I saw today, and I'm going to take it like one step further. Okay. So what I saw today was someone said, hey, Doug Peterson, being a quarterback, is calling a scheme that would fit him as a quarterback, the kind of quarterback he was. I'm going to take that a step further and say Doug Peterson was never better than a backup quarterback in the league. Even when he was a starter, he was not good enough to be a starter in this league. Yeah. I almost feel like he gets amped up when a backup quarterback on his team gets in the game and he all of a sudden becomes more creative. Just because of the fact that he's sitting there going, hey, this is how I got my start. Let's go out here and show these people something instead of right from the get-go just being about dominating the other team.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, dude, it doesn't matter. The only guy I've ever been able to see who could actually somewhat function behind a bad O-line was Romo. And that was just because he was freaking Houdini in the pocket. But y'all's O-line is horrible. Which, I mean, you lose Brooks, who was top, 2 or 3 in the league last year.
He was the number one guard, and the number 3 offensive lineman overall.
I mean, you lose him, and then you lose another guy, and then Peters. I mean, Peters he should have got his Medicare and AARP card in the mail yesterday. So, I mean, that guy is just he is done for.
I'm surprised they didn't bring Peters Walker on the field to help him off the field when he got hurt.
Well, I need to check my emails because I might have a delivery one for him. So
Baltimore just scored a long touchdown, by the way.
Hollywood Brown.
Devin Duvernay, 93-yard kick return touchdown. Yes, sir. But something else I wanted to bring up is in the offseason, people were talking about the Eagles being like so good this year, vying for another Super Bowl. And I hate to say it, but that has always been a bad omen in Philly. It has always been bad. And I happen to be wearing the jersey of a player that the last time the Eagles were quote unquote favorites to go to the Super Bowl, this team with Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie went 8-8. And if anybody remembers it, it's called the Dream Team. And we were absolutely awful. And this year is having very much the same feel as that year ended up having. Having talent across the board, and for some reason, we just cannot figure out a way to put it all together and make it work.
I think it's time to sit back and, if I'm the owner, think, do I trust Howie? I mean, he's A, do I trust Howie? B, do I trust Doug? C, I don't know who y'all's athletic trainer is. Y'all need to let that guy go because y'all bust hamstrings like I bust U-turns after I went past the road I'm supposed to turn on.
Man, I'll tell you what. I think this offseason, the Eagles need to make a commitment that every player we have on the roster that is over 28 years old needs to be cut, gone. Period. Because
y'all need draft picks. So, and this is something that I thought about yesterday. Even if y'all get the number one pick, which I don't think y'all will, I really think New York's going to get it. I really do.
Yeah.
And if y'all just so happen to get it, I don't see y'all drafting Trevor Lawrence. I really don't. I think y'all, the smart thing to do would be trade the first for,
a later.
Can you imagine what somebody would give up for him? A team that's complete and needs a quarterback?
Oh, it would be.
Listen. Imagine, everybody knows this is Drew Brees last year. Do you know what Sean Payton would give up to have him?
Oh, it would be astronomical.
I mean, anything they wanted.
We could probably end up getting 3 or 4 first-round picks from the Saints strictly for the rights to Trevor Lawrence.
I know the deadline for trading is coming up soon, right? What, 3 weeks maybe? Middle of October?
I think it's post week 4. So we should have the rest of this week and the rest of the next week.
If I'm y'all, I'm on the phone with who needs a tight end. Because it's time. It's time to get rid.
But maybe not. Dallas Goedert may have either a Lisfranc or a high ankle sprain. He may be out for half the season or more.
But at this point, you're already, and I'm not saying this to be a pain in the ass, your season's done, dude. I mean, there's
half a game out of the lead of the division.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do next week versus San Fran? What are you going to do versus Baltimore? What are you going to do versus us?
We haven't given up 100 yards on the ground yet. San Fran doesn't have a quarterback.
All right. Well, when we do next week's show, then we'll have this discussion again when you have 4 days left. Deal?
Yeah, sounds good.
Sounds good.
I can't give up all my pride on my Eagles yet, Matt. All right?
I get it.
I can't give up hope on my boy. quite yet.
Listen, in 2015 when Romo come back, he posted on like Twitter. He was like, "There's nothing left to do but win the whole damn thing," and I'm like, "We can do it. Screw it. Let's do it." I believed, So.
Yep.
All right. Anything else you got this week, or is it my turn?
Yeah. I've got a couple more things that I need to say real quick. Nate Gary, you need to get off the field. Legitimately. Gone. Like, dude, just quit football altogether. You are not a football player. He has given up. He has been targeted 13 times. He has given up 13 catches. He has given up over 300 yards receiving, and he has given up 4 touchdowns. Our middle linebacker is the biggest piece of garbage in the football league, in the NFL, period. I want to ask Howie right now, why did you spend a third-round pick on a linebacker if he's not going to be on the field? And you're going to put somebody out there that has given up legitimately a perfect passer rating in all 3 games.
Well, that's not Howie. That should be Doug's decision.
But it's not. Howie drafted a guy that was so far from being ready in the NFL that he may not play next year. He may need 2 years to learn how to play in the NFL before he gets on the field. And that is just absolutely absurd. And one last thing, Doug does not fit in Philly. He just doesn't. After he decided to punt the ball away with the chance to hit a 64-yard field goal, which our kicker has hit a 61-yard field goal before, the fact that he decided to punt the ball away and choose to go with a tie instead of trying to win the game, that's not Philly. That's not what we do. We go for the knockout. We go for the win. And if we lose trying to win, we walk around the next week pissed, but with our heads held high. But to concede the fact that you just say, plain and simple, we're not going to try to win this game, I'm surprised that he was not fired already. And if he's not, and he continues the way he is this year, I do not see Doug Peterson being coach for the Philadelphia Eagles next year. I think he will be gone. He will be run out of town by the Philadelphia fans. And the fact of the matter is the fans pay every bit of the salaries of the NFL. So if he loses the faith of the fans and it starts to show in the numbers, he'll be gone. And I will support that decision by whoever makes that call. If they get rid of Doug after this season, strictly off of that one choice, I am fine with him being fired after this season.
Who do y'all play after San Fran?
After San Fran, I believe we play. Oh, I honestly think it's Seattle. Either Seattle or the Giants, but Seattle's in the next 3 weeks. Yep. And not to mention, we just lost another cornerback. I was counting it up Sunday. We've lost 11 players since training camp. 11 starting players. That is half.
Y'all need to drink some milk.
Clearly. Like, it's now starting to become comical with the Eagles' injuries. Like, it's no longer being mad about it. It's kind of, you go into a game and you go, okay, how many players are we going to lose this week?
Right.
And once it gets to that point, there's something seriously wrong.
That's how I am with flags at this point. Like, every play, I'm like, but wait, where's the flag?
There's more. So, yeah, what'd you think about your boys this week?
Let me have my moment here. Okay. I think Zeke played horrible. I don't know where his mind was this week. I don't know what he just came out. He looked like week 2 Denver 2017 Zeke, where he just gave up, didn't care, didn't want to play, dropping passes. I mean, it was just ungodly. Like, give Dak some help, you know?
Well, you do realize that they, like, for instance, the way people play the Ravens, where they quarterback spy Lamar, they running back spied y'all the whole game. They had a linebacker designated to Zeke, and he was not in coverage. It was literally the second the ball is snapped, you're on Zeke the whole game.
Well, maybe that's why Dak lit him up. But I'll start with defense. Ultimately, yeah, we had errors, but overall, we played better this week than we have the first 2 weeks. We come out in the second half, and we stuck with it. I mean, we had a chance to win that game, and not because they gave it to us. I recorded, and I still have it on my phone, and at some point in time, I'll post it, and I'll show the date and everything and what time I recorded it. That way, nobody says that, hey, you did it after the game. But literally, my key to the game was to get Russell Wilson on the ground. Like, you cannot let him out of the pocket and then push him. You have to sack him. And Alden Smith, thank you, God, for running into Mike McCarthy at a gym somewhere. Because, holy crap, you're the only piece of defensive line that can get near a quarterback. We got a guy we're paying $20 million a year, and I don't think he's even sniffed a jock strap of a quarterback. Honestly, if I'm Mike McCarthy or I'm Mike Nolan, I'm sitting until you can play like a $90 million defensive end. Sit down. Sit down, dude. Give that guy, Brandon, a knife. Give him a shot. Put him out there. At this point, I mean, seriously, give me somebody who wants to fight. Give me somebody who wants to play. Jalen Smith played better this week. He played good in coverage. Brandon Carr, holy crap, he come out and played good. He really helped us a lot. And, I mean, that play from Diggs, when I say intangibles, I mean he has potential. That kid has potential to be good. He got burnt. Yeah, I mean, dude, DK Metcalf, 230 and run the 4.2. I mean, he's going to run by everybody. And you don't give up on the play, and you knock it out of his hands, which that was him being a showboat and lazy.
It was. When I saw that, I called him out on that. I was like, dude, this is the NFL. You can't take anything for granted. Anything can happen.
And for Diggs to not give up on the play and go and hit that ball out, that was awesome. But yeah, I was happy. I really miss having Leighton Vander Esch out there. He's a coverage guy. I mean, and I cannot wait to get him back. And I just hope that he can get healthy and just stay healthy for the foreseeable future. That would be great. Am I pissed that Earl Thomas is in Houston and not at the Star right now? I am.
I'm not.
Gary Jones, ever since Roy Williams has just said, "Oh, screw the safety. I don't need a safety." Where Jerry Wayne gets in his head that we don't need a safety, I don't know, because Xavier Woods is not that guy. Darian Thompson should be putting fries in a McDonald's bag. I don't know where this kid is from, but he sucks. Offensively, Amari Cooper's hurt. Put him on IR. Let him heal whatever he is going on. I don't know what it is. Do what?
His bruised ego is what's hurt.
No. It's something with his feet. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he ever healed with that plantar fasciitis or what. But he's had something going on since training camp, and he never healed from it. Michael Gallup, holy crap, I love that kid.
He's
I
a beast.
love that.
He's a beast.
CD Lamb to play the way he was playing. That kid's going places, man. I mean, he really is. And something that I did find out, the reason why, and I do not agree with this. I do not agree with the player intentionally hurting a player, and I think it was wrong. Who was it that did that to Chris Carson? Tristan Hill. No. It wasn't. Antoine won't do that. It was Tristan Hill. The reason why he did that was because when they tried to push CD out of bounds, he was already out of bounds, and somebody went to take out his knee. So that was kind of like a revenge thing, I guess. Which I've seen the video. It's clear as day. But you know, I'm happy. We had a chance to win. Did I want to get out of there with a win? Yes. It's 4th and 3. The middle linebacker, everybody else was in perfect coverage besides the Mike linebacker and Joe Thomas. He had no clue where he was at. He was supposed to be on Greg Olson. He wasn't. The penalties suck, but you can't blame the penalties on losing a game. You know, they suck. Everybody complains about them. But, you know, it boils down to coaching to me. I see no difference in Mike McCarthy's team than Jason Garrett's team. If anything, I'd rather have Jason Garrett. I'd rather kept Garrett because I felt like I respected Garrett. You know, I really did. I've always have just his character. I respect him. Do I think he's a great coach? I don't, but I would still rather have him over McCarthy. I do not like him. It's time for Kellen Moore to hit the bucket. You were a backup quarterback, and you're about to be a backup play caller because you suck. Let Mike McCarthy call the plays, and we'll see. We got the Browns coming in this week. We'll see what we can do.
Y'all's run defense needs to tighten up because y'all are about to be playing two of the best running backs in football this week.
Well, our run defense was good. I mean, we shut their run down.
Yeah, but Chris Carson is the same thing as Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt.
Oh no. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park. I think it's going to be a game, you know. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what goes on. Each week is different. Baker Mayfield's going to be Baker Mayfield. So I feel like, you know, if this defense can come out and get an interception, it's going to fire them up.
Yeah.
So, especially playing at home and having fans, I feel like they're going to turn up for it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I missed that I wanted to talk about. Special teams need to be better. You're talking block field goal. You're talking going forward on 2 again when you didn't need to right then. He's giving away. How many points do you have to give away in 2 weeks to figure it out? You know. And I'm a fan for going for 2. I'm a fan for going for it. But the play call, why would Noah Brown ever get a call to get the ball? When you have Cooper, Lamb, Zeke, Dak, Gallup, Cedric Wilson, why? Why is that your first thing you go? You mean to tell me that's the first thing on your 2-point conversion chart? No, it's not. That's just like I know when we went forward on 4th down, we were trying to win the game. We run that same play where Dak has the option to pitch it to Zeke. The same one we got shut down in New York Jets for, and Dak went to pitch it, but he kept it, and I'm glad he did because if he'd have pitched it, we wouldn't have got it. If I were Dak in that situation, which I'm not by no means, I would have liked for him to throw it out of bounds. You know, there's 4 seconds on the clock. You get one more chance than an off-balance throw. You know, but is what it is. It's still early in the season. I mean, I was giving you shit earlier.
It's
next week. This time last year we were 3-0.
Yeah.
And then in the blink of an eye, we're 3-3.
Yep.
Literally, you never know. So That's all I got for this week for my boys. I think they hung in well.
One thing I did forget to bring up is, and something that I want to hammer home with Eagles fans, Eagles players, Eagles coaches, Eagle GM, Eagles owners. This is not what Eagles fans expect to see on a yearly basis. We don't expect to see a team play good for 1 year and then continually regress year after year. This is starting to remind me of the last few years of Andy Reid in Philadelphia. And Andy Reid went 4-12 in his last year, and they let go of the best coach that they've ever had. If Doug Peterson literally thinks that him winning a Super Bowl with a backup quarterback makes him untouchable, I guess would be the best way to put it, he is sorely mistaken. He needs to be figuring out right now what his plan is for the rest of this year, and he needs to stop coming out in his interviews and saying, we didn't play well, we didn't execute well, but we'll fix it next week, and then coming out the very next week and looking exactly the same way that they did the week before. Because that is a quick way to find yourself out of Philadelphia.
So, what happens if y'all lose week 4?
If we lose week 4, I almost feel like someone is going to tell Doug that he has to give up play calling, especially if it comes down to the fact that the offense looks putrid again and just cannot move the ball. I feel like either Howie or the owner have to tell Doug, because it came up in an interview today. Someone asked him, have you considered giving up play calling on offense? And he laughed and said, no, it hasn't even crossed my mind because I enjoy it. Doug needs to realize that Eagles football is not about what he enjoys. It's about making the fans happy and making the team happy and the team successful.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what he enjoys and what he wants to do. He needs to do what he has to do in order for our team to succeed.
So at what point does Hurst get the nod over Wentz?
Honestly, I don't think he will straight this year. I don't think it'll happen unless we are mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. And then at that point, they may say, we're just going to see what we've got with the kid. But if Wentz continues to have a year like he is having so far, right now he has twice as many interceptions as he does touchdowns. If he continues to have a year like that, I think there's going to be a big discussion in the offseason on what needs to happen at the quarterback.
So how many touchdowns does he have this year?
He either has 3 or 4, and I know he has 6 interceptions.
So Nick Foles threw more touchdowns in a quarter and a half than he has all season. That's what you're sitting there telling me.
Yeah, I am.
So is it time to bring back the diamond?
I don't think Chicago would let him go.
Bring back the diamond. No, they're not letting him go. They already named him the starting quarterback over Trubisky.
Wouldn't it be wild? Wouldn't it be wild if Nick Foles came in as a backup again and took a team and won the Super Bowl?
Chicago was right there a year and a half ago. If it wasn't for their kicker missing, y'all wouldn't have even been in the playoffs.
Yep. Hey, no, we blocked that kick. We blocked the kick. We did. Our guy got a hand on it. There's video evidence of that.
Yeah, he got a pinky on it, so it's whatever.
That's all it took for y'all to miss. But no. But what else is wild is it still feeds into the same Nick Foles narrative that has plagued his entire career. He's never played a full season, ever. At no point in his entire career has he played a full season.
Neither has Wentz.
Wentz has played 2
full seasons.
I'm talking about literally just 16-game regular season.
Oh, okay.
Nick Foles has never completed a full regular season as a starting quarterback. He was the backup his first year where he went 27-2. The next year he breaks his collarbone and misses time. Then he goes to do what?
27-2.
Yeah, he threw 27 touchdowns to 2 interceptions his first year.
27 wins. I was like, whoa.
No. Then he goes to the Rams and gets benched. Ends up being a backup. Goes to Kansas City. He's a backup. Comes back here. He's a backup. Wins the Super Bowl. Next year, gets benched for Wentz when he's healthy. Then goes to Jacksonville. Ends up being a backup to Minshew Mania. Then goes to Chicago, and he's the backup, and he still won't have played a full season because he didn't start this season.
Let's say go to the playoffs now, 16 games, but still. Your backup is about to go to the playoffs that you let go for this guy who's never. Look, there's a football out there that has more time in a playoff game than Carson Wentz. There's tents that have more playoff time than Carson Wentz.
Carson Wentz spent more time in the tent last year than he did in that playoff game.
He's an Eagle Scout. For a reason. Listen, him and Peters just need to go ahead and be roommates at some rehab somewhere. Sean Lee will be right there with him. Oh, I know something that I wanted to say about us, and it just came to me.
What's up?
So, did you see where we drafted the guy from? We got Travis Frederick from the same place. Sorry, I just had it in my head. I'm thinking about 2 things at the same time. Wisconsin, same guy. The same place where we got Travis Frederick from. He's been named our starting center. We moved Joe Looney to right guard and Zach Martin to right tackle. And when they did that, the game turned around for us. I don't know if that was Mike McCarthy or our O-line. That was brilliant, and it worked perfect. I got Lyle Collins is still not ready to play. Nobody else is coming back from IR this week that was on IR. So I have a strong feeling they'll go back with that. Zach Martin's just one of those guys. As long as he's on the right side, he knows what to do.
See, here's what I would do with the Eagles line, and it's very similar to what y'all did. So
put
right
Kelsey
now,
at that tackle. No, not Kelsey.
Jason Peters is getting smoked. So I would move Lane Johnson to left tackle.
Yeah,
it's what you drafted the guy for in the first place. It just so happened that Jason Peters played like 7 years longer than you expected him to. So go ahead and move Lane Johnson to left tackle. Leave the rest of the line exactly the way it is, and the names will read out. Lane Johnson, Pryor, Kelsey, Herbig, and then put Driscoll in at right tackle.
No.
He played good against Washington. He had a couple mental lapses, but besides 2 mental lapses, he played phenomenal. But then he came down with severe cramps in his hamstring and literally couldn't feel his foot.
No.
You can't blame a guy for coming out of the game when something.
No.
So, in my opinion, put the most athletic and the most. I'm trying to even think of the right word for it. Dependable. The most athletic and the most dependable players on the field at line. And just see what happens. It can't be any worse. We're getting smoked at left tackle.
That's what I'm saying, man. Y'all have to do something about draft. Y'all have to figure out a way to get more draft picks because y'all have so many needs. Like, what's going to happen when Kelsey retires? Because I have a strong feeling he's going to retire after this year.
Herbig, the guy at right guard, he's the replacement for Kelsey. He's just playing right guard right now because Brooks got hurt. Okay. And we got the number 1 tackle in last year's draft, but he tore his bicep in training camp because he didn't have enough time to actually get into football shape before everything kicked off. So, we've got players returning that are good, but it just so happens right now that they're not available.
Well, we talked about this before and after and during our show. Now it's kind of like week 1, coming up. You've got the jitters out. You're playing games. They should be right near football shape. Let's play football.
Yeah.
Let's play football now. No excuses. No. Let's play football.
I don't know if you heard, but they were saying Rieger was going to be out 6 to 8 weeks, and I just saw a report where he may be back another week.
Rieger?
Yeah, our receiver. He tore a ligament in his thumb. Basically, he made a catch, and somebody came in, and their shoulder pad caught his thumb on the tackle and bent it back and tore the ligament in his thumb. Yeah. But they're saying now that it may only be a 2 to 3 week injury instead of a 6 to 8 week injury. And if he comes back, that helps out a lot.
Yeah, for sure. When can what's his name come back?
Alshon?
Yeah.
They're saying week 7. He really messed his foot up, man. I'm talking about they're saying that his Lisfranc Frank was like one of the worst that they've seen.
I hate injury for any player. I don't care who they play for.
Yep. And the thing is, he's going to end up being almost a year removed from football.
Yeah.
At his age,
it ain't worth it.
I don't even see him being that much of an impact player at that point.
Yeah. I mean, at least it's a body. Yeah. Of course, I'm not throw to anybody other than tight ends anyway, so it ain't like he's got to worry about catching the ball.
Yeah, and a red zone threat, though, I mean, just a big body that can go up and post somebody up.
He's 6'4", right?
6'3", but he's got the wingspan of someone that's 7'1".
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
Unless y'all ship him off to Chicago to make pair with Diamond again.
He won't go back to Chicago. Chicago doesn't want him back. Especially with the contract Howie gave him.
Howie?
My only thing is you could keep him in charge of salaries and working the cap. But other than that, he needs to have his power strip because he cannot draft to save his life. I mean, when you take Arcega Whiteside over
DK.
DK, that alone should start making people go, does this guy even know anything about the actual playing of football?
Yeah.
So I saw something earlier that we could have had DK Metcalf last year, and I don't know if you saw, but Jefferson, the boy from LSU.
Yeah, he went off yesterday.
Yeah, so we could have had DK Metcalf and Jefferson as our starting 2 wide receivers in the last 2 drafts. And instead we have Arcega-Whiteside, and I still think Rieger is going to be a really good receiver in this league.
Yeah. Well, that's just like we took Tristan Hill over T.J. Watt.
Yeah. Yep. It's about enough to hurt somebody's feelings sometimes.
Well, week 2, man, was a good week. Let's see what next week brings to us.
Yep.
So,
all I can do is hope.
Yeah.
Because at this point, it's not looking good.
Well, I'm just like I said, man. I'm gonna look at it like this is week 1. You've got it out your system. Let's see what we can do. And again, we want to say thank you to everybody that's following us. We're about to get some shirts made. So
yes, sir.
If y'all like them, everybody likes them. Maybe we'll get some merch going. Merch.
Some sports.
Like it, share it, like our Facebook page.
Hit that subscribe button.
And turn your notifications on. And please, if y'all want to hear us talk about something football related or any sport related, let us know. This isn't just about football. It's just football season. We're passionate about football. This is what we love, but we are going to be touching bases on everything. I mean, we're both baseball fans. We're both basketball fans. Sports.
Y'all just wait till the Masters comes around.
Oh yeah, we're gonna. I was gonna talk to you about that. We might need to do something live for the Masters.
I think we do. For the last day on that Sunday. I think we need to do a live video.
Dude, I'll bring the setup to the place we were talking about going to eat. And we'll do a live setup there and watch football and the Masters on the same day.
Heck yeah.
So, yeah. But again, let us know. Let us know what you want. You want us to talk about something, how we feel, and then when we get some more subscribers, we'll do it live, and y'all can ask us questions live. And this is just the beginning of somewhere where we want to be. This right here literally came from working together, becoming friends, becoming best friends, to becoming making this show. This was our dream that we sat and talked about every day. And without you guys, this dream is nowhere. So help us get there. Give us a boost, and we appreciate y'all, and we love you guys.
All right, guys.
All right. Hey, see y'all next week.
Hey, Matt, tell the boys good night for me, all right?
All right, man, I will. Ep2 Sports, everybody.
Yes, sir.